Hey guys, we're down in the lab. Today we will be installing For Whom the Bell Tolls on Metallica Remastered. Tools you will need for this job. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver. You will need a 11/32 nut driver. And then this should be a 1/4 inch nut driver also. In your package you'll get these pieces for the bell, and then you'll get this thing too, which is a pigtail with a splitter that ties you into the GI. This piece, what this does is reverses the polarity on the GI. Right now, the way the code is, I believe you need this installed. Sometimes Stern likes to reverse the polarity on the GI, which doesn't affect their LEDs or Comet LEDs or whatever, but these little micro LEDs, they only go one way. They only accept power in one direction. So if you ever notice, if you do a code update and your candle bulbs aren't flickering, you either need to remove this or add this. So, but just you know, watch out for that. But right now you do need that. They had last time they did that, like a code flip on the GI, I think was on Foo Fighters. With I noticed it with the pigeons that we were selling. They reversed the polarity. So like the pigeons wouldn't light up anymore, which was whatever. But we're going to get into the install. We're going to pause the video. We're going to remove this stuff and then kind of show you what we need to remove first. Alright guys, first thing, I mean this mod is super easy to install, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this single habit trail nut. This is the 11/32. We're just going to unscrew this. Pull off the nut, and there'll be a washer on top, and we just lift up and slide out and put that over somewhere safe. And then you'll notice that there's a washer on the bottom. There should be, at least. Take that one off too. We're going to put these off to the side and save those for later because we're going to need them for the reinstall. The next task at hand is this post. This post has to come out. You don't need this post. The way the cemetery wall is and the lantern post, you don't need this anymore. So we're going to lift this up. You can do it this way, or we can come back here because we have to take this off too. This plastic air guard. If you notice that your post is spinning underneath, you can just put pressure on it from your finger on the underside so it doesn't spin, or if you have to, you can get a pair of pliers in there or something to hold it. So you're going to remove these two screws. We're not going to lose these. Look, my post is coming out. There goes my dog. So don't lose these two screws. We're going to remove this plastic, put it off to the side for a minute. And then tighten up that back post that I just loosened. But this post we will take off. And we're going to save that. And then also we need that washer, so we don't lose that either. And now you have a lot of play in this plastic. So you kind of just need to work this post out with your screwdriver. Remove that. The first time you're going to take this out, it's going to be tough. You might need a pair of pliers or something, or take the whole, this plastic is just attached with this last bolt, so, or post. If you just want to take this out and take the whole plastic off and take it to the workbench and remove this post. But these posts are are kind of a pain to get off the first time. It seems like when they drive these screws into the plastic, like it's melting the plastic. They're putting it in so tough. But that's my 2 cents. So we have this area clean. So the next step is going to be on the underside of the playfield that we need to take care of. We're going to pause the video, lift the playfield up. That way we're not clanging and banging, and you'll see it with the playfield vertical. All right. So on the left side of the playfield, we're going to look for, coming straight down, these 3 bulbs, which are going to be underneath this plastic. The first one's going to be a blue one. We're going to take the nut out, and that's going to be with your 1/4 inch driver. And then the second one down is going to be a white one. And we install our pigtail with splitter on that. So we'll remove the GI bulb. We'll put our splitter in here, right? And then this goes back in. Oh, that's my dog. He's doing something. And then the blue one we'll leave out for the time being. We can put this white one back in. 1/4 inch nut driver. Just put that back in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lower the playfield back down. But make sure, like, when you lower the playfield down, this blue bulb isn't on the outside of the playfield. Like, move it back to the inside. You know. So we'll have our splitter here. So then we're going to bring the playfield back down. And we're going to start to install our pieces and parts for the mod. So on this one has like this crumbled wall. So this is the back piece, and you'll notice that on the bottom of it, it's got this little sticky tab. So what you got to do is remove the top adhesive part, and this is just basically to keep it from like shifting left and right. And then this wire, if you see the spinner, it's gonna be hard for Jen to show it on the video, but there's like this opto board, and then straight down there's a hole. Like, let me see if I can. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So that's where this wire is going to go through. There's tons of room for it to feed down through. So we'll feed that wire down in. Kind of got to get it straight. So feed that one down in. And then we've removed our sticky. And then this goes on top of here. And the way this cement wall kind of like follows this stand-up line, and we just kind of push that down, right? And then we go back, we grab our short little post and our washer. Kind of screw this in. You know, this stuff doesn't have to be wrenched down really hard. Tighten that back one. And now the front one. The front one is the same thing. It has like this little sticky tab. And we're going to remove that. Maybe. And I usually lift this plastic up, and where we pulled that blue GI bulb out of, we're going to, this is the wire's going to go down through. So what I do is I go through this rubber to kind of keep it in place, so it's not like moving all over the place on the top part of the playfield. And then you can actually, if the playfield's up on its playfield legs, you can just pull the wire through here. And then push this down, kind of pull the wire, and you know, we get kind of set up. And then the same thing, like this just follows this edge line of the edge of the playfield. Not way out here, but you know, nice and square. And we kind of just put it down, right? And then we got our wire down. And now the next step is we're going to reinstall this plastic. We're going to do all the stuff up on top. So this plastic just gets installed like so, just the way it came out. The lantern might be in a little bit of a way, but if you come in at this angle from the side, you kind of push the lantern off a little bit. Tighten those down. These have lock nuts on them, I believe, or lock washers, so they kind of don't move once they're down. And there's an actual, like, I didn't show it when it wasn't installed, but there's an actual like notch here for this plastic to like kind of like ride in and sit, so it works pretty good. And then our next step is to reinstall the habit trail. So I kind of come in at this angle, and then kind of, you know, get to here, go up and over and back, and feed these in. And then this just sits, you know, right on top. We don't need to put a washer underneath, but if you really want to, you can. I put one on top though. And then I will finger feed this. And we'll take our 11/30 seconds, make sure this is kind of centered in the lane for the drop. Like I said, like this one's really pretty straightforward. Yeah. Lock nut doesn't have to be super cranked down, just good enough. Then we just lift up our playfield, and we'll have our two lead wires here that are gonna, and like with this wire I kind of go like this way, right? Because like the nut for the blue is over here, so it's just, you know, less stuff in the way. And then I do kind of go like this way, that way it's not hanging out, dangling. And then this one kind of go under, just so it's not in the way, and that's it. And then, like, you know, that's it, pretty straightforward. I'm going to lower the playfield down, we're going to pause the video, and we're going to boot it up so you guys can see it. Alright guys, so now we're back down. Our lanterns are lit. The last thing we have to install is the bell, and this is kind of like the same style as how the cemetery arches. It's just a compression fitting. So I usually put this side in first, you know, and then I put this side in and kind of wiggle them down, and it kind of locks into place. And that's it. And then, you know, you get the rocking action when the ball hits it. And that's it. And you see, like, the lanterns are lit. It has the bone ramp in it. You know, that's about it. Oh, it has a crypt in it. It has the cemetery. Might have one more piece down the road. Maybe a Halloween release or something like that. But if you guys have any questions, reach out to us on Pinside or through Facebook. Make sure you like and follow us too for updates. You know, we don't always show everything that we're making on Pinside first. Usually we start teasing the stuff on the Facebook page, cryptic messages and whatnot. But hopefully you guys like this one. It's pretty cool. Seems like a lot of people got on the list for it, so
That's it, guys.